Hi, Maycee. Welcome back. Am I right in saying that this is the first fight on a brand new contract?
It is.
How was the negotiations, and did you feel valued when they came to the table and with the money you're getting now?
Yeah, I'm very happy with it. I got to talk with Hunter and Mick, and we sat down and talked, and it was very good, and I'm extremely happy with where we are. And to be honest, like, all I wanted to do was re-sign. You know, I think it was kind of like a little bump that we had, like, overlooked it, because I took a fight, like, really fast before even renegotiating. You know, I went from fighting Montana to fighting Jessica in, like, I think it was like 7 weeks. So there was really no time for negotiation, and it just happened to land on my last fight. But I mean, at the end of the day, all I wanted to do was re-sign and come back. Yeah.
Do you see yourself as like a UFC lifer? Like, you don't anticipate yourself ever going elsewhere? You want to be here for the rest of your career?
I mean, this is the biggest organization in the world, so yeah.
What do we make of Andrea Lee and her skills, and where do you match up with her?
I think it's a great matchup. You know, it's a great matchup for me, and I'm very excited to go out and showcase. And I think that this is a fight where I go out and I finish. I've come off of 3 decision wins in my last 3 fights, and I'm like, it's about time I get a finish. So that's what I think about this fight.
When you say you're looking for the finish, obviously you always are, right? But is that something in your head you're like, I'm going to change my training to try and find it, or I just see this opponent as someone that I can get out of there?
I think a little bit of both. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, that's what I love to do, is finish people. But for me, you know, I mean, the training is just, we're going to train to be the best in the world. And, you know, we're not just training for this fight. We're training for the champion of the division. We're training for the best girls in the division. And I'm not saying that she's not. She's a great girl in this division. But for me, it's like, I want to be the best me possible. So I'm always training to finish and also evolve my own game.
You mentioned the champion of the division. Bit of a shake-up up there. What did you make of Alexa Grasso?
For sure. I felt like, you know, Alexa, that was not like a shock to me. You know, she's a phenomenal fighter. And I feel like Valentina started to get exposed a little bit when she fought Santos. And, I mean, everybody is beatable. So it was really cool to see, you know, a whole new champion in the division. I think it gives it, you know, a lot more excitement in the division. But it also is, you know, Valentina was such a dominant champion. So obviously I'm sure we're expecting a rematch at some point between them. And then, you know, at some point I want my shot back against Alexa, because I want to win that back. Whether she's the champ or not, I want that fight back.
Yeah. Any part of you a little bit jealous you weren't the one to dethrone Valentina?
No, I think that no matter where it is, like, I think all of us are going after the same goal. You know, we all want to be the best in the world. So someone else gets their time to shine, that's their time to shine. You know, it's not my time to shine yet. So I am never going to be jealous or mad that someone else got to dethrone the champ, you know, because there's always going to be, you know, another cycle, another champ to dethrone. So I am honestly happy for Alexa, and I think that it's a very great thing, you know, and she's earned it. She's worked really hard, and she's earned it.
Cool, thank you.
You mentioned, you know, you talk about the title fight. Do you expect an immediate rematch? Do you feel like Shevchenko deserves one?
You know, that's not really up to me. I think that every champion, when they lose their belt, I think that that's the first thing they want, is they want to be able to try and get their belt back. I know that if I was in Valentina's position, I think that's what I would want too, you know, so I think it makes sense. That's what would make sense.
Yeah. If the UFC does go that route, do you feel like Shevchenko will recover her belt, or will we still be champion with Alexa Grasso?
That's a hard one, because, I mean, you know, Valentina is good. She's really, really good. But it you know, she got caught. I think she's has some holes, and Alexa was able to expose those. So if Alexa knows that those holes are there, then she's going to be able to expose them again. Yeah.
Who would you rather fight for the belt? Grasso or Shevchenko?
Honestly, it doesn't matter to me. I do want that fight back with Alexa, but like I said, it was whether she's the champ or not. So, I mean, if she has the belt and that's when it comes time, then I want her. And if Valentina's back to being the champ, then I want her, you know? Mm-hmm. But, I mean, at the end of the day, like, I still have my journey to the top, and right now I think I'm currently number 13, you know? So I have to work my way up again.
Yeah. And it's interesting. You say you want that fight back regardless of the belt. Why is that?
Because I came off of a year layoff, an ACL surgery, and I lost the first round, but I won the third round. You know, I feel like if that was a 5-round fight, I would have won that fight. And I think there's a lot of people that could agree, but at the same time, I lost that fight, so obviously I want that back.
Yeah. And if you win on Saturday night, it'll put you at 4-0 in this current streak. You mentioned you're number 13, but 4-0 is a pretty good position to be in the division. So how far do you think you are from a title, and more or less what do you gauge your position in the division?
I think the rankings are all politics. So for me, you know, being 13, I'm like, that's fine. You know, if I'm number 13, it doesn't matter to me. I'm getting paid and I have a great contract. So I'm happy with working my way back up. But at the same time, you know, I think it's also about the noise you make in the division and how you push yourself and how you project yourself as a fighter that is really going to push you. And also the performances, you know. Not to bring her up, but if you take a look at Erin Blanchfield, you know, she fought one fight and now she's right up there, you know. So good job on her. But, like, that's what I mean. Like, one fight can put you so far forward. So it's just really a matter of, you know, the right fights and the next fight, you know, after this finish.
Yeah. And your only 2 defeats were, you know, against Roxanne Modafferi, where you suffered that knee injury, and then you mentioned how you feel like the layoff and coming off that big knee injury affected you in the fight against Grasso. Was that the biggest thing for those 2 defeats? You think, not to make excuses, but do you feel like the injury was sort of the biggest factor in those?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. The one with Alexa Grasso, I'm not going to take anything away from her. Like I said, she's a great fighter. That was not a fight that I was ready for at the time. I took it because I'm not going to turn down a fight, you know. But at the same time, the fight with Roxanne, I mean, I tore my ACL in like the first round of the fight, and I went all 3 rounds, but like I still lost. You know, it was really hard. I fought off one leg. So that one, I never really was like super bitter about that one, you know. And then the fight with Alexa, I think that's the one where I felt like I was like, dang, like I lost, you know, like that was a feeling of that. But I was proud of the fact that I won that 3rd round, and that is what made me want it back.
Yeah. And I'm assuming you re-signed for 4 fights?
I actually have 6-fight deal.
6 fights.
Yeah.
Okay. If we look at sort of contracts as chapters in someone's career, what are you looking out? What are you looking forward to getting out of this chapter, this 6-fight deal? What are you trying to achieve within those 6 fights?
Chasing that belt, you know. I mean, that's the end goal. And just setting myself up with a strong career. I mean, I'm 24, and this is, I think, my 9th fight in the UFC. I mean, that's pretty incredible to me. So just keeping that story going, you know, I've really tried to build my name and build my story, and I think that's, you know, what this contract is going to really help me progress towards, and I'm, you know, just really thankful and grateful to be here, and I'm excited.
Thank you.
Hi, Maycee. Is this your first time fighting in Texas, and what's the vibe like fighting in San Antonio, of all places?
It's not. I actually fought in Dallas and Houston. I think I fought twice in one of them and once in the other. And this is my first time in San Antonio. So far, I haven't gotten to look around a lot because it's been a little bit rainy and stuff. But, you know, for me, it feels kind of quiet and slow. And I like that, you know, because it really gives us time to just focus on what we're here to do. But I do know that the Texas crowd is incredible. And I'm so excited to be able to go out and perform in front of them. This is my first fight in like a different state other than Vegas since 2019, so I'm very excited.
Is it kind of weird to fight, you know, like, you know, there's no casinos over here, it's not Vegas, but, you know, is it kind of weird to not be fighting in Vegas this time around?
No, you know, I really loved it, you know, before COVID when we got to go and travel and see the different places, you know, obviously, like, I don't know how I feel about traveling like across country and weight cutting, but I definitely love going to, I've been to Boston, I've been to Nashville, and this is Texas, you know, like I love traveling to see the crowd and to see the fans, because like every time we go to Vegas, we go back to the same, what feels like the same fan base, you know, the same crowd, you know, you're always going to get a lot of people that return there, and just to feel the different energy and the different vibe of the fans it's so much fun. And it's something that I feed off of.
And how do you envision getting your hand raised on Saturday?
I'm going to dominate everywhere and shine.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Maycee, back here. Quick question, like, what is it like for somebody when they come back after a serious knee injury like you had? Because we saw Casey O'Neill make her comeback fight after, I think it was 9 months. She had just had surgery on her knee, and, I mean, she didn't look like the Casey O'Neill in the previous fights. So is it, like, mentally draining? Are you nervous when you get back there, when you come off of a knee surgery like that?
Yeah, I mean, for me, like, and obviously I can't speak for every athlete because everybody's different, but I think the thing that I struggle with the most is, like, it's such a traumatic injury, and then you have your knee hacked to pieces, and, like, when they fix you up, that you're just like, it's hard to trust that it's good, you know? Like, even when the doctors are like, you're good, it still feels like, even to this day, my knee still, like, clicks and pops, and I still have, like, spots where it's numb. So it's one of those things where, like, you have to really learn to trust in the medical field and the people that are in place to tell you, hey, you're good to go. And that's something that, like, for me, I didn't do all the way up until, like, even when I was in the cage, I'm like, oh man, is it going to buckle? Is it going to this? You know, and also, I don't know how she tore her knee, but for me, like, I tore my knee in the fight. So there was also that, like, that little piece of, like, I wouldn't call it PTSD, because, like, that, I feel like that's, like, other people have that way worse. But like a trigger almost, you know, where I'm just scared to have that happen again, where you're kind of thinking about, oh, this is when it happened, and feeling that same feeling again is awful. So for me, that was something I also worked with a mental coach on. But it's difficult to come back, and anyone who does it, like, if they get back in the cage, like, full support to them. You know, it's incredible.
And then what's the relationship like with Corey McKenna? Because I see you guys always kind of joking around on Instagram, and, like, how does she help you when it comes to, like, fighting and, you know, coming into fight week and stuff?
Corey and McKenna and I have become best friends, like, truly best friends. We actually live together now. She moved in to the house that I have, or that house that I'm living in. Yeah, I mean, she hates me now, but I actually gave her a concussion in this camp like 2 weeks ago. But I told her, that I would say this, I'm going to buy her roller skates after this fight with the bonus that I get.
Why roller skates?
Because she wanted roller skates, because I gave her a concussion. So that's what we're doing. We have a great friendship. She's an awesome training partner, an awesome person. And not just her, but all the girls at Team Alpha Male. I feel like females in general, like, you have to find a good group to train with, because there's a little bit of, like, female fighters are way different than male fighters. And I've been told that by all the male fighters. You know, they're like, you guys are dirty. And it's true, but, like, at the end of the day, like, it's so cool to see other women just grinding towards their goals. And Corey's one of them, Maritza's one of them, Jesse's one of them. There's so many girls at that gym, and Jan, same thing. Like, it's a lot of fun to train with girls that work hard and are just chasing their goals and dreams.